Right, we're live, guys. Thank you very much for everyone that signed up. This community has been amazing, and it's only going to get better from here. We got a few things in the roadmap. Very immediately, so we're trying to build out a trading view indicator for quant levels, which means that you won't manually have to go and input the levels into your trading view. So that will save a lot of time, and you can just map them onto your trading view. And for SPX, you'll be able to see all the points where the market's likely to reverse. One of the things that we already have out, which is new for everybody, because anyone who's been part of the Trading Edge platform in its 3 days hasn't experienced this, but we've been trialing sending emails with the daily analysis, and it's been going exceptionally well. People love it. It's really convenient to read when you're on the train or subway. And so that's something we're definitely going to continue for all of the paid subscribers. So as a default, you will receive the morning daily analysis and an evening summary of the database and all the unusual activity that was logged in the database for that day. But an email will go out to you in the next couple of days where you can request added content in your email inbox, which will be covering commodities, stocks, forex, and quant levels as well. Um, so if you haven't received an email, it's probably so that it's gone into spam or into promotions. Obviously, this is fairly significant launch. So there are some technical bugs that are working their way through, but in the next couple of days, you should expect to be getting an email. And if you're not, it's probably a case that it's in your spam. Um, so yeah, that's pretty awesome. Uh, I'm making this video just to basically guide you through what's available in the Trading Edge platform and to give you some idea of where to find things and how to use the platform in order to benefit you. Some of you guys have been here for a year or more than a year, but you may not be aware of some of the things that are actually here. So now that you guys are paying subscribers, and I thank you for that, then I want to make sure that there's maximum value for you here. So to start with, let's just go through some of the channels and how I would personally interact with the channels in order to draw some benefit. So I would say one of the main channels is the daily market analysis. Every single morning, I'm going to be posting an analysis of the market, whatever I think is relevant in the market. Here, I often look at VIX, the term structures, I look at charts, I look at fundamentals, I look at things in terms of market dynamics from the option market. I basically put here whatever I think is relevant for you to know, whatever I think is actionable and is going to help you in your trading. So, one of the first things you should read is this report. It's one of the main readings for the day, and everything else that you read in the Trading Edge platform should be contextualized against what it's saying here. So, for example, if in this report I'm saying that I think that the market is showing strong signs that it's likely to go into a correction, and then separately in the stocks update, I post that this stock is showing great flow or is looking like it's got good positioning, well, you should caveat that against the fact that, well, Tier is also saying that the market is likely to go into correction, so probably I shouldn't size that position up too much. So yeah, this is one of your core readings. Separately to this, in terms of my postings, you'll receive a commodities update every single day. This covers gold, silver, oil, sometimes copper, and it's really useful actually. Like even if you're not trading commodities, obviously all of these commodities have stocks that are related to that commodity, and so they can be very useful to read in terms of your stock portfolio as well. We shouldn't all just have tech stocks. We should have other things as well, and commodities are an important part of diversification. So these are worth reading. As I mentioned, if you choose to sign up to the email update on commodities, instead of them going out in separate posts as I sometimes do here, it will it will basically collate it into one roundup that will go out in one email to make it much cleaner in your inbox. By the way, in your inbox, if one day you don't receive a market update, just assume it to be a deliverability issue because there's really no days where I don't post. And if there is to be a day like that, you would know well in advance. So if that's the case, check back into the community here using the Trading Edge site, and it will probably be available to you right here. So in the market update section, this is where I would post some thoughts as I go. They're not the main analysis points, which is why it's not in the post that goes out on a daily basis. But it's like, for example, the jobs numbers just got released. I want to basically give some sort of analysis on that, or perhaps there's something happening intraday that I'm saying to you that this is maybe something you should be aware of. That's where you'll probably find it here in the market analysis, in the market update section. I also post in the stock update section, which is where I look at stock specific analysis. So, utilizing the unusual options activity database, utilizing the positioning tool, utilizing technical indicators and skew. So, these are all tools that are available to you as I'll go into, except the skew right now. But that's something that I'm going to be rolling out soon because it's a very powerful tool. So this is where I'd be analyzing some stocks. In the positioning and trade ideas, it's a similar kind of thing. It's similar content to the stocks, but these are maybe more actionable setups that I'm watching. Not everything needs to be traded by you. Not everything is actually traded by me, but these are things that I'm watching and analyzing. And sometimes when I see something in the intraday flow section, which by the way, that section is open to everybody. It's one of the few sections of the site that are available to free members as well. If I notice something that's really pertinent there, I'd probably make a post about it in the positioning and trade ideas section so that the paid members get, an added insight, an added nudge that, yeah, this one looks like special, basically. Um, I have a forex section as well. One of the things about me is that I don't believe in just being narrow in my trading. When I look at things in terms of the market, I look at technicals, I look at fundamentals, I look at the positioning, I look at the option flow, I look at what institutions are doing, and all of this together helps me to have a more well-rounded picture of what's going on in the stock. And all of this is important. Anyone that says fundamentals isn't important because it's all reflected in the chart, that's rubbish. And you need to be tracking all of these different things if you want to make an informed decision that you are basically confident to hold if that thing goes in a direction that you weren't expecting. So Forex is one thing that I follow as well. You may not be a Forex trader, and that's fine, but it can be useful, especially at the moment with the tariffs and stuff like that. Forex is an important macroeconomic data point that basically tells us something. We have also crypto as well. Most of my crypto focus is on Bitcoin, using technicals and also looking at the skew in IBIT because there's no skew specific for Bitcoin yet. But this is where, for anyone interested in crypto, I might be posting regular updates here. It's not daily for crypto, but it's regular. And then, here's the pre-market news reports. This is where, an hour before open or so, I'll basically make a report here that collates all of the news from pre-market so that you don't really have to go and dig. You can just hop into this report when it's posted and read everything that you need to know to get ready for the day. When it's earnings season, I post summaries of some of the earnings reports here. These are often also in the pre-market news report that I just mentioned, so you can read it there, or it can be separated here. I'm actually looking very closely at building out an earnings summary tool so that I don't have to post this stuff. It will actually give you a perfect summary of all the key metrics, etc. I was working on it for this launch, but it didn't come together. So hopefully soon, and we'll see about that. Now, this is an institutional data section of the site. This is run by Stevie, who's actually a community member here. He's got access to the Bloomberg terminal, so basically has added insight for us. Now, to be honest with you, Stevie's access to the Bloomberg terminal may or may not be permanent because he gets it through his work, and I think he's in between jobs. So we don't know about the future of this particular channel, but while it's there, it's very useful. And regardless, even if it's not there, we'll do what we can to try and get it available again. And if not, then the rest of the site will suffice anyway. So this is the educational section that is in my trading school. That's what I've named it. It's basically me giving you a trading course. These are all sort of things that are in the roadmap to come soon. But these are already modules that are out. It includes my leverage ETF strategy, which I put some thought into. We haven't executed it yet because the market hasn't given us the opportunity to. So we don't know exactly how it's going to fare, but it's theorized for now and it's very powerful. So let's see how that goes. But regardless, it's got a lot of content here on the fundamental trading principles that everyone should be maintaining, on how to trade breakouts, on how to use the positioning charts. This is a chart. This is a tool that's available to you. It's the DEX tool, the DEX chart tool. This is a very powerful tool. I can't tell you. This is institutions use this very readily in order to basically map out the dealer positioning to understand how market makers and dealers are going to be hedging, and that basically indicates to us where support and resistance is. The charts in this analysis were the old style of charts. The formatting is a bit different to the charts that you have, but the data and the content and the explanations are totally applicable. So yeah, if you are looking at the unusual options activity database, for instance, and you're like, well, how do I use this? I'm not quite sure. I would come and check here. I've got a module on it and another module on how to use institutional flow content, which is the intraday notable flow and also the database as well. So this is useful. It's not really a one-stop shop. Like you shouldn't just come here once and assume it's done. I would check back regularly, actually. And I do actually still read some of these fundamental trading principles because it's very important and useful to get a reminder. Um, Now, in this announcement section, this is where I'll be posting announcements that go out to everybody actually. So the free members as well. It may just be like, I'm not going to be on the desk this afternoon. So that's going to be an announcement here. Here, look, I'm saying it's going to be going live. So it's just an announcement section for you to keep up with things that are going on with me if I need to let you know something. But yeah, that can be useful to track as well. We have the forum board, which is basically a community place for everyone to post. In these sections, the tiers representative content section, you won't be able to post because I want to keep the feed, free from noise. And so I've restricted permissions there to just myself. But in the forum section, you can post as well. Now, one of the main tools of this Trading Edge community is, of course, the unusual options activity database. Now, this database is basically a tool where we can track institutional buying and selling. We log it all in terms of the entries into a database, and there we can conduct some analysis to basically try and identify trends in institutional buying or institutional selling, which often precedes price action movement. So if we see, for instance, wow, I mean, it looks as though institutions are showing a lot of volume towards crypto stocks at the moment. That's something that we can keep in mind. It's not like, okay, institutions are showing interest in crypto, so let's go buy a ton of crypto. No, you still have to integrate that knowledge with your other trading principles. So go and look at the charts for crypto. Go and look at the chart for Bitcoin. Is it looking like it's going to break out? Is it stuck under resistance? If it's stuck under resistance, don't buy it because there's still a strong chance that it can come down. But if it's in a breakout mode, there's a good risk reward there, especially given the fact that institutions are moving on that to basically catch some upside. So as I mentioned, with this tool, if you're not sure, check the trading school because I've got modules on there available to you. Now, I will more clearly here before launch post the link to it. You can also see the link here in the featured section. It's basically got the link flow.tradingedge.club. It's fairly simple to remember, but it's password protected. Obviously, this is a tool that's reserved to the paying members of the community. So there is a password to it, and the password changes periodically as well. So that's something that if you can't get in, password doesn't seem to be working, it's probably changed. So come and check here, and there will be the new password posted here. Now, if you go into the unusual options activity database, what you'll basically see immediately is this. Now, this will show you the dashboard for the last trading day. Now, every single evening, I will log all of the unusual institutional size option activity into this database, and it will pull it up and separate it according to whether it's calls being bought, puts being sold, both of those being bullish, or puts being bought and calls being sold, both of those are bearish. Now we can basically go through here now and look for things that kind of stand out. Now, what you would look for in terms of things that stand out is firstly, is there a name that's like appearing a lot? For example, gold got clocked a couple of times here. Um, I'm looking at NEM, that's a gold miner as well. So I can see that gold's getting quite a bit of flow here, going down, looking for more. Okay, and here you can see XOM and VLO, they got tagged. CVX that got tagged. These are all oil stocks. So oil and gold seemingly showing quite a bit of volume. Now, if I want to go and check the history for gold or anything in particular, you can just click this and it will bring up all of the database entries across different time frames that I can select. So 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. So we can see basically here over the last month, gold has it's shown a lot of bullish flow. Now I would then go in and check the chart and see what's the chart been doing. Is it breaking out? Is it still chopping around? If it's chopping around and you're seeing this kind of flow, it means that the institutions are accumulating on that. If in your mind, fundamentally, it also makes sense to buy gold, and you can see my um, daily analysis to try and inform you on that, then it might be an idea that, okay, maybe I should start to get some exposure to gold and sort of follow these institutions that are clearly loading up whilst the market is chopping around. Um, and yeah, so then one of the other things that you can do is you can go to the top bullish. Now, what this will do is show you all of the entries that are seeing the most frequency on the bullish side. So here, for example, Tesla got hit 9 times on the bullish side, 0 times on the bearish side. So this is currently over the last 3 days the most hit name. This is basically because Musk and Trump have kind of reconciled their beef a little bit, and so the market thinks that maybe Tesla can get a push from it. Um, we can scroll down here and see. Now, I would look here when I'm focused on this mainly on the 3 day and 1 week. You can look at longer term trends as well, but some of those may have already put in a move that maybe the move's happened. But yeah, like th 3 days, 1 week is all good. One day, obviously, the data is quite narrow, so it's not like got statistical significance yet. But you can do the same for bearish as well. Now, what I would also look at is the top premium names. So this is telling you which names are getting hit with a lot of premium. Now, obviously, if it's a massive market cap stock like Microsoft, you'd expect it to get hit with a lot of premium. So, and when I'm going down here, I'm looking, okay, right, these names have got hit with a lot of premium. All of them are mega cap tech stock names. So, maybe not that significant. Google is getting hit with quite a bit here. Like that combined is, 32 million, which would put it first. So Google might be of interest here, and I can go and look at Google over the last couple of weeks or month, and look, it's really, really bullish. So that might be something that I'm interested in. But I would just continue going through this list and see, is there anything there that stands out with getting hit with loads of bullish flow or very large premium and isn't that big a stock? So IonQ here, a quantum stock, not that big market cap, 3 million in premium in just one trade. That is quite notable. So that's something that you might log and go and look in the chart on. And then furthermore, you can just even from here, you can have a little look and look at this premium column here and see is there anything that stands out, and also combine it with this strike column, which looks at how far out the money the strike was. So 79% out the money is quite significant. Premium is quite small, but obviously it's a small cap stock. So I'm looking at combining, well, what's got a nice out the money premium and a large premium out the money strike and a large premium relative to that market cap. That's key, relative to the market cap. If Nvidia's got a large premium, it doesn't mean that much compared to if a small cap stock is getting a lot of premium or a mid cap stock is getting a lot of premium. So yeah, like this is something that is very useful to look at. So this one, for example, stands out to me. Is 42% out the money and 1 million in premium. And if I just literally go market cap, I mean, the market cap here is only 1 billion. So getting 1 million in premium for a 1 bill stock, that is significant. That's something that I would note. Okay, we do have to caveat that it seems to be long dated. It would be better for us if this was short dated, but still, it's worth a look to understand what's going on there. Now, the other very important tool that's available to you is the DEX tool. This is, I can't tell you how important this is. Institutions use this all the time in order to understand where the supports and resistance are. Now, I default to 50 days expiry because it basically covers one OPEX and doesn't look too far out. But if, for example, the market's in a corrective stage, very choppy or something like that, you might widen that a little bit, especially if, for example, on the 50-day, you're not really getting much indication. You might widen that to, for instance, 90 days, which would look at 3 months out. I like 15 strike range, but if I can't see much happening, I might widen that out again to see if there's anything happening on far out the money strikes. But if we go and type in any ticket here, so for example, hood, um, it comes up here. And now I can look at this tool and I can see, well, what the gamma exposure is and the delta exposure. So I can see here that, look, first of all, the call to put dex ratio is 3.66. It's yellow. I probably need to work on the formatting, but anything above like 1.5, it's clearly bullish. You can clearly see on this chart, this is the call side, this is the put side. Everything's happening on the call side. It's very bullish chart. Traders are strongly bullish on hood. Now, I can see from the gamma exposure that the call wall is 75. Now, what we would expect is that basically, probably at 75, there would be some resistance. Especially when there's put delta there. Like if there's put delta above the strike, that's often a point where there is again going to be like some market maker hedging to bring the price down below that. But we can see that traders are building calls above that 80, 85. They're clearly expecting that it probably will break. But for now, you should be aware of the fact that there's a 75 call wall. And then we're looking in the money, and you can see that, here at 70 and at 60 and even 65, which is the put wall, there's strong support. So in the money support here, like if this is going to do some correction, you're not expecting it to be massive correction. You would then go and look at the chart and see, does this price 70, 65, does it line up with anything in terms of the technicals? Does it line up with one of the key moving averages? Does it line up with one of the key supports? If there is, you know that if the price comes there, there's a very strong chance that it's going to bounce from there. So then that's something that you can look at in terms of buying. Um, so yeah, this is a very important tool. Now, the database was produced by myself. On an ongoing basis, it's me that logs that and keeps up with making sure that that is populated. This was a tool that was provided by Harman, which is basically an additional tool that leverages the data that I put into the unusual options database and gives you some additional analysis tools to basically use. There are two things that you can do. There's the dashboard and then there's ticker trends. Here in the ticker trends, for example, if I typed in hood, I can see that, look, this is what the stock price is doing. This is what the option flow is doing. Let's have a look at gold. This one could be interesting. We see that well, I mean, this is probably not updated, but anyway, regardless, you're seeing that the price is kind of chopping around. Uh, the view is not so clear, to be honest, but the flow is positive as we were seeing in the database. Anyway, this is a good tool to use. If you want more information on how to find that, how to use that, come here within the site, database analysis tool, and I've done a write-up here. In fact, I didn't do the write-up. Harman himself did the write-up. Very good explanation on what's available within the tool. The DEX charts that I showed you above, which was here, how you get access to that is by clicking on the DEX chart section, and you will see the link to it. And indeed, again, the password changes. The password across all of the tools will be the same just to make it simple for you. You only have to remember one password. These are all very powerful tools. And coupled with my analysis, um, basically will give you an insight into the market that you probably haven't had before. And it's something that I know to be significant. I know to be extremely powerful, which is why I completely justify the movement to the paid tier, and I do strongly believe that $38 a month or $1 a day on the founders rate is a bargain, and it will be going up because have to reflect the value of the tools being shown here. So yeah, if you have any questions, email me. If you're not getting the email updates, email me. If you have any sort of content that you would like to contribute, you can contribute in the forum section. You can comment on any of the posts. And once again, I really appreciate the fact that you've signed up. It's massive for me, and it's massive for the community. So, onwards and upwards. It's going to be amazing, and I'm going to be releasing more and more tools. And so, yeah, I can't wait to see what we have here. So, thanks very much, and we'll see you around.